All right, welcome back to my house. You see a different map here today that you're probably not used to seeing because we haven't looked at that. But now that we've gone through and learned all of our states, now we can kind of look at some of the topography, some of the places that stand out that are well known. I wish I could show it closer, but it is on page 487 in your history books, page 487, and then you can follow along and see what I'm talking about. So just some quick things that are just, like I said, highlight parts and places in the United States. So we've got Denali, which is a mountain in Alaska, tallest in North America, I believe. Then we have our redwood forest, which is in the northern part of California. Then our Pacific Ocean, which we know, and you can see our little dolphins there. Then here within the Pacific Ocean, we've got our Hawaii, our little islands there, but Kilauea is an active volcano that's there in Hawaii. Coming back up, we have Mount St. Helens, another mountain in the state of Washington. Then we have the Great Basin Desert, okay? Then we have the Grand Canyon. And so you can see the picture there, and you can see what it would look like, not what it would look like from the sky, but you can see the great picture that they have there. Rocky Mountain Range, that's the mountain range that's over on the western side of the United States. And we have Pompey's Pillar, which should be familiar with whom? Lewis and Clark, very good. Old Faithful Geyser, that comes up, every so often. If you remember in our story that we're reading, Half Magic, they talked about seeing Old Faithful coming up or whatever. So Old Faithful. Then we have our Great Plains in the central part of our United States. Rio Grande, which is a river that flows from, I think, Colorado and down, obviously splitting kind of the border between Texas and Mexico. The Missouri River. Then we have we'll start up here with the Great Lakes, which are all around Michigan. Niagara Falls, which is on the border of Canada and New York, many places there, so you can see that. Then we have the Ohio River. Then we have our Appalachian Mountains, which is the mountain range on the eastern side. So we've got the Rocky Mountains here, the Appalachian Mountains here, Mississippi River, you can see that right here. Coral Reef right below Florida. Then you have the Everglades, which are in the southern part of Florida, and then obviously our Atlantic Ocean. So just some interesting points of places that are well known throughout our United States, so that you can look through those maps and know those. I don't think that you'll be necessarily tested on it. I'm not quite sure though. So just be prepared for whatever, but look at those and kind of get to know those a little bit. So today you have your history quiz. So we're just going to review a little bit before that history quiz. Plus your test is Friday, so we need to review anyway. But we are starting on chapter 36 with Orville and Wilbur Wright. We know they were brothers that grew up together, and they just did a lot of things together, obviously. But one of the things that kind of got they were very interested in always creating things. But one of the things that really got their interest in flying was what thing was brought for them to them from their dad, right? That wind-up toy, that wind-up airplane toy, kind of a helicopter thing. And that was really kind of, they loved seeing that and wanted to create that again. They tried to build their own. After Wilbur was hurt badly while playing ice hockey, how did he learn at home? What did he do? Right? He read. He just kept reading lots of books. What began Orville and Wilbur's lifelong partnership? Where did it start? when they started their printing business, right? They worked together in Orville's printing business, and that just kind of started that desire to work together, and they did many things. What was the thing after their printing business? I mean, they were interested in flying and these planes and creating and inventing things. They started a printing business, interesting, but what came after that? Right, a bike shop. They started a bike shop together, and they designed and built their own bikes to sell. What was the first type of plane that the brothers made? Remember, it wasn't an airplane at first. It was just a glider, so it didn't have a motor. The difference between them, the airplane has a motor, and a glider is just from the wind. That's how it's going to move and maneuver. Where did they find that perfect spot that glider could go, where there would be enough wind? What was the name of that? Yes. Did I hear you? You better have said it. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina was the location that was given to them by the Weather Service Bureau, the Weather Bureau or whatever, that told them this is a great spot. So they were able to go there. Let's see. On December 17th, 1903, so the December 14th is when Wilbur won the coin toss, and he was able to go and try first, but his attempt failed. December 17th, it was now Orville's turn, and Orville was able to make a successful flight for how long? 12 seconds. Very good. And then it was Wilbur's turn again, and how long did he? 59 seconds, almost a minute. How crazy that was, right? So the longest flight that day was 59 seconds by Orville. Then they obviously did many more flights after that. They received medals, and the medal that they received was from the what? It's on page 365. Smithsonian Institute. Very good. They started their own company. What? The Wright Airplane Company. Very good. Let's go on. Okay, so this is where we go also. What toy, because this is what you should be studying when you're studying through. What toy did Orville and Wilbur's father give them? The wind-up plane. After their printing business, what did they repair and design next? Bicycles, because they had the bike shop. What were they rewarded from Congress and the Smithsonian Institute? Medals. Very good. So here it is again, where did the Wright brothers test their gliders and make their first successful flight? Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Good. Who was the brother to first successfully fly? Orville. How long? 12 seconds. And what were two things that the Wright Airplane Company did? Right, they built airplanes, but then also did what? They trained pilots to fly those airplanes. Good job. And then we talked about George Washington Carver. Didn't start off with an easy life because he was stolen. First of all, both he and his mother. Moses Carver was able to find George, but was not able to find his mother. But what did the Carvers do? Right, they raised George and his brother as their own children. What did George do when he saw Aunt Sue knitting? He said, I could do that. And what did he do? Goes out and grabs turkey quills and unravels a sock and a mitten and just starts to knit. He taught himself how to do that. What did George use to paint his picture in the woods? Right, he used berries and used leaves, and he etched a design on the rock on the stone with another rock, and all of these neat things. How do you know that George was a hard worker? What was his saying? Any job worth doing is doing well. He was not willing to not do his best. What was his favorite place? Where was his special hobby? His favorite hobby was studying plants. Where? His favorite place in the woods. Very good. What was his nickname? His nickname was the Plant Doctor. He was so good at helping people with their sick plants that they called him the Plant Doctor. Where did George, because George really wanted to go to school, he wanted to learn because he knew there were things that he needed to learn. Where did he have to go in order to get an education? Do you remember the town? It's page 373. Neosho. He had to go to Neosho, walking 18 miles in order to go to a school that would teach him. Where did he stay in Neosho? This time, first of all, what did he call his first parents, Aunt Sue and Uncle Mose? Now, where is he staying with Aunt Mariah and Uncle Andy? Very good. What did Mariah teach George how to do? She taught him how to iron. Remember, he knew how to wash clothes from when he was home with Aunt Sue and Uncle Mose, but Aunt Mariah taught him how to iron. And we know that that helped him later on. We'll talk about that in a second. What was the special gift that Andy and Mariah Watkins gave him? They gave him a Bible. And now he's able to learn who that special someone was that had a plan for plants that must have a plan for him too. Good. George moved again and he went off to college. And as he's going and working in these towns, what is he doing in order to pay for going to school? He is doing laundry. So he was in Neosho for 1 year, and then he traveled from town to town doing laundry, and he was determined to get his education no matter what. Now he goes to college. What college did George go to? George went to Iowa State University. He went to a smaller college at first and studied painting and art. But then his teacher told him, you are so good with plants, you need to go and really go study plants. So he went to Iowa State University and studied plants. I'll just go ahead and say, he was the first African-American to graduate from Iowa State University and the first African-American teacher there. But he was offered a new job. Where did he become the director of agriculture? He became the director of agriculture at Tuskegee Institute in Alabama with Booker T. Washington. Very good. So he was director of agriculture at Tuskegee Institute. What was Mr. Carver's job? He's the director of agriculture, but what does that mean? What did he do? He taught them how to farm better. Very good. What happens when cotton is grown all the time? The soil becomes poor, and he taught them if they grew other things such as peanuts, sweet potatoes, soybeans, all of those other vegetables, they would put minerals back into the soil. So for the sweet potato, how many uses did he find? 118 uses for the sweet potato. What about the peanut? Even better for the peanut. He found 300 uses for the peanut. 118 for the sweet potato, 300 for the peanut, and then he also found some things that he could do with soybeans, and came up with some great ideas. Let's see, I think we went through all of those, so go back through the comprehension check again as well. And then we talked about Jim Thorpe and Jesse Owens. What was Jim Thorpe? He was a twin, but what happened to his twin? His twin died. What happened to his parents? They died as well. So Jim was very close to his twin. What was something that they did? They would hunt, they would trap animals, they would ride horses, they did a lot of things together. But Jim knew that if his parents aren't here and his family's gone, his family would want him to be educated and do the best job that he could with going to school. So he decided to go ahead and stay in school. What was something that he did that nobody expected? He broke the record for the school in his overalls and work shoes by jumping over that 5'9" high jump. Very good. Did he want to do more than anything else? Play football, and he was very good at it. He made it all the way down the field the very first time. What honor did Jim Thorpe have in 1912? What honor was he given? He was asked to be part of the Olympic team, the U.S. Olympic team. What happened on the final day of the Olympics? His shoes were stolen, but what did he do? Did he give up? No, he just kept trying, and he ran even faster than he had before, and he won a gold medal. But after he got that gold medal, what happened? It got taken away from him because they found out that he actually was playing professional or minor league baseball. And so they said, you got paid and you can't have a medal if you're a paid athlete. And they took it away. But he was given several other honors afterwards, but a lot of them, sadly, after he passed. But he was given the honor named greatest football player, greatest overall male athlete. Oh, what did he also do? He became what? After he became a baseball player, but what else did he do? He became an actor in some Western films, right? So he was honored as a professional football Hall of Fame. He was given the America's Athlete of the Century and all of these special awards, but then he wasn't given back his medals. He wasn't specifically, but his family was able to get them back after he had already passed away, sadly, but very interesting things there. And then we talked about Jesse Owens. So I'm not going to go over him right now because it's getting long, but look carefully, go back over Jesse Owens and his life. We just went over that the past couple times, what his coach told him to do and how he broke records there when he wasn't able to go to the first Olympics in 1932, but in 1936 in Berlin, Germany, he was able to go. And who did he win against? And how many medals did he get? What kind of medals were they? Answering those questions. Oh, I was supposed to go over the comprehension check. Oh, it was getting long. Okay. Number 1, what was his favorite thing to do as a boy? We know run barefoot through the fields, right? What was his nickname at Ohio State University? The Buckeye Bullet. Very good. What did he do at the Olympics in Berlin that nobody else had done in America? Won 4 gold medals. What were 2 awards that were given to Jesse by the U.S. presidents? He was given the Medal of Freedom. You could have put Living Legacy Award, and you could have put Congressional Gold Medal. So any of those 2, either of those 2. Okay, Medal of Freedom, Living Legacy, or Congressional Gold Medal. You could put 2 of each, any of those. What does the U.S. Track and Field Association give every year to an outstanding athlete? Right, it's called the Jesse Owens Athlete of the Year Award. Okay, so hopefully you did well on those and got those correct. Now, quiz 12. Fill in the blank. They give you the words at the bottom. Spell them correctly. And if they're capitalized, capitalize them. If they're not capitalized, don't capitalize them. I don't want to have to take off points, but look at those carefully. Read the sentences and answer. Then section 2 is true or false. Read those through very carefully. Think before you just go, oh yeah, most of it's true, but I didn't finish reading it. No, read the whole thing because, and especially look for what's underlined, because what's underlined is what they're really trying to determine. Oh, is that the right person? Is that the right place? Is that the right thing? Think that through carefully. Then turn to the back. You've got just 4 states from your Western region. Okay, so 4 states that you're going to be able to have to recognize. So I hope that you've been studying through those. All right, do well on this quiz. I know you've got it, and it's going to help you in preparation for Friday's test. So do your very, very best. I just rhymed. Are you proud of me? It's okay. I'm proud of me. And I'm proud of you too. All right, see you soon. Love you. Bye.